Welcome, yogis, to your core routine. So today we're going to be going through a flow practice, but it's all about Manipura chakra. This is your solar plexus, solar like the sun. The color is yellow, and the quality is fire. That's the element. This is your sense of willpower. It's your spark that lights you up. It's what gets you out of bed every morning and brings you to your sadhana, your yoga practice. Developing willpower is the sense of, I can do. So let's start today's practice in a brief child's pose, with toes touching knees a little wide so that there's space for your belly. Offering to bring the palms of your hands together behind your head. And remember for a moment that when we engage our core, it's that sense of doing, but it's evenly important to let go of the belly. This is our center of rest and digest. So let's take a deep breath into the low belly. There's nothing you have to prove, no one you have to be for anyone but yourself here. And evenly you might bring to mind what is worth working so hard for in your yoga practice and your life, so your devotion, call that in. Let's take one last big breath in child's pose. And let something go. Reaching your hands far forward, lift yourself to tabletop hands and knees and just gather your knees underneath your hips for a couple rounds of cat-cow. So on the inhale, let your belly sway and lift your heart up towards the sun. And as you exhale, round your spine like a black cat that's stretching. A few more. Inhale, shoulders back, heart forward. Keep the arms straight but not locked, so only the spine is dancing here. Last one, inhale. And exhale, connect to your core. Belly scoops in and up. While you're looking underneath your body, stay there. Keep toes tucked. Can you hover your knees just a few inches up off of the mat? And once you've got that, gaze slightly forward beyond your hands, as if you're making a pyramid shape with your hands and your gaze. You can even micro bend the elbows and think about hugging the forearms together and find a long line of energy from your hips through the crown of your head. So you're waking up the larger muscles of your glutes and your legs and your core, so bring in that heat to your inner fire for one last big breath here. Exhale, lift your hips back, downward facing dog. And now whatever feels good. I like to hold my right heel down with the left toes. Breathe into your calf muscles, your gastrocnemius, your soleus. And then change sides, so your right toes might hold your left heel down. And don't worry if that heel touches the floor. This is still just a warm-up. And offering as you see your feet hip width apart and parallel, which means toes are pointing forward. Let's lift the heels and ripple forward to a high plank pose. As you exhale, lift those hips back to down dog. We'll do a few more. Lift your heels and articulate your spine to high plank. Looking forward, chin to chest, lift your hips back, down dog. Last one, inhale, spine moves like a flickering flame. Exhale, earthy heels, down dog. Let's find high plank pose and just stay here for a few more cycles of breath. If this gets to be too much, you can always do plank pose from your knees, remember. And for the first one, indeed, you might lower the knees. We're going to come down to the floor for a slow count of 3. Point your elbows to the wall behind you instead of wide for 2, all the way down to your belly. From here, prong your fingertips wider than your mat. Pubic bone presses down. As you inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift your chest. Exhale, come back down to belly. We'll do a couple more. Inhale to lift as high as your low back feels safe. Exhale, forward action, descend. Last one's different. Inhale, lift your chest. Now pause. Dip your left shoulder forward, gazing over the right shoulder. And just send an extra breath into the left side of your shoulder and neck. Inhale through center and then gently switch sides, taking an extra breath. Inhale back through center, land on your belly, hands by low ribs. Tuck your toes, seat to heels, extended child's pose. Let's lift it back through table, hands and knees. Meet me in downward facing dog. So flexible spine is a flexible mind. As you lift your heels, tiptoe forward to a fold at the top of your mat. And that's set 2 fists between those inner ankles so that only 2 will fit. And as you stay low, walk your hands towards the right side of your mat. Bend your right knee and straighten your left leg. Breathe into the whole left side of your outer hip and the side rib cage. And then change sides, walking hands left, bend your left knee, kick that right hip out, and just send breath wherever it needs to go. Let's give those low legs a push. Take a halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold, and a few breaths to round your spine up to standing. You could always walk your hands up the fronts of your legs if you need some more support. Let your shoulders fall down your back. Let's take a deep breath, shoulders to ears. Exhale, let those shoulders fall. And from the seat of your Manipura, your solar plexus, let's take an inhale. Through the mouth, exhale, look down. Ujjayi, constrict the throat. Through the nose, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And give your low legs a push, halfway lift. Step your right foot back towards a lunge and lower the knee down. As you inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, make 2 fists and pull into your power center. Inhale, deeper to hips, reach forward and up. Exhale, back out of the hips, pull into power center. Inhale to reach, exhale to pull. Couple more, inhale, exhale, pull. Reach for something that you would like to bring into your life. Last big one, inhale, forced exhale. Inhale, reach forward and up. Hold hands to the floor, lift your right knee, left foot back, down dog. Ripple to high plank pose on your inhale. Lower your knees for these first few chaturanga push-ups. Inhale, bend the elbows lower halfway down. Exhale, re-straighten the arms. Inhale to bend elbows. Exhale, strengthen. One, inhale. Exhale to press. Tuck the toes, lift your hips back to downward facing dog. Offering here to lift your right leg to the sky. Keep your toes pointing down, hips are square. Exhale, tap right knee to nose. Inhale, draw that leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, squeeze all the old air out so there's space for the new on your inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Now lift your hips even higher so you can step that foot forward, lower the left knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up. This time just step forward to a fold at the top of your mat. Take a halfway lift. Feet are hip width, parallel, fold. For chair pose, bend your knees, lift the arms up. And exhale, keep lots of weight in your heels. So that stay here for the inhale. And for the exhale, try sinking the hips down 2 inches lower. So finding your core, your sense of willpower, even in longer holds. Last big breath. Inhale, stand up, hook your thumbs, even back bend. Exhale all the way down into your fold. Give your low legs a push, halfway lift. Step left foot to lunge, lower the knee down. Inhale, arms up. Make 2 fists. Couple more, inhale to reach. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, exhale. Last 2. Exhale, knit front ribs and pelvis together. Inhale, exhale. Inhale to reach forward and up. Commit whole hands to the floor. Lift your left knee. Step right foot back, down dog. Forward to high plank. Inhale. Again, on or off the knees, 3 chaturanga push-ups. Inhale to bend the elbows. Exhale to straighten the arms. 2 more. Inhale, lower forward and down. Exhale, straight, strong arms. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. As you tuck your toes, lift your hips back towards downward facing dog. And stretch that left leg towards the sky. Exhale, left knee to your nose. Inhale, leg up. As you exhale, shoulders can come forward even beyond the wrists. Last one, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Now lift your hips even higher. Step left foot through to lunge, right knee down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, step forward to your fold. Take a halfway lift. Exhale to bow. And through chair pose, bend your knees, lift the arms up. Let's stay a little longer. This time you might even lift your heels up off of the floor, so standing on the roots of your toes. It's a little tuck of chin to chest so that the back of your neck stays as long as the front of your throat is open. So strengthening the arches of your feet and ankles to support balance later on. Last in breath. Heels to the floor, forward fold. Halfway lift in breath. Step right foot back to a lunge. This time let's keep the knee lifted. Engage the core and reach your fingertips to the wall behind you. Next inhale, rise all the way up. Whew. You can even micro bend the right back knee just to lengthen your tailbone so pubic bone draws up to lower ribs. This is our new inhale. As you exhale, reach your whole torso forward, hands to the back wall. From the belly, push down to rise up. Exhale, hands back, extend your triceps. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward and down. Last couple, inhale to reach up. Feeling in that left glute, exhale. Last one, arms up, even hook your thumbs. Pull hands to the floor, step it back to down dog. High plank pose on your inhale. On or off the knees, lower half or all the way towards the floor. Cobra or up dog, inhale. We'll meet in downward facing dog. This one's different. Lift your right leg up. As you exhale, core plank, tap right knee to right upper arm. Now let's stay here for an inhale. All that changes, tap right knee to left upper arm. Inhale towards the right. Exhale towards the left. Last one, inhale right. Twist towards the left. Now drawing knee to chest, step that foot forward, lower the left knee. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, step forward to your fold. Feet are hip width, halfway lift. Exhale, forward bow. Through chair, bend your knees, lift the arms up. This time, lace your fingers together and flip the palms of your hands forward. Little tuck of chin to chest. Again, you can stay. Or lift your heels up off of the floor. We'll hold for 3. Belly scoops in and up. Uddiyana Bandha means flying upward seal for last 2. Heels to the earth, forward fold. Hands to shins, inhale. Step left foot back, this time keep the knee lifted, pause. Reach your hands to the back wall. Next inhale, come all the way up. Try to feel that the back heel is moving forward over the roots of your toes, so you're stretching out the arches of your feet. Inhale. Exhale, bow forward, reach back. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, hands reach back. Engage shoulder blades behind you. Inhale to reach. Exhale to forward. Last couple, like flickering flames. Exhale to reach back. Last one, even hook the thumbs and back bend. Whole hands commit to the earth, downward facing dog. Let's try this, yogis. Come forward to high plank, then lower your knees towards the floor. If you're working to do full chaturanga, this will be helpful. Bend your elbows and then keep that. All that changes is you lift your knees. We'll take an extra breath. This is chaturanga. Find cobra or up dog on the inhale. So up dog's like cobra, but knees and thighs stay lifted. Exhale to downward facing dog. Big breath. Whew, and that one's tough. Inhale, left leg up. This time tap left knee to left upper arm and stay. Inhale. Left knee to right upper arm. Exhale. Couple more. Inhale towards the left, even if they don't touch. Towards the right, both arms stay straight. Inhale, left. Little twist to the right. Now draw knee to chest. Step forward, right knee down. Inhale, arms up. Sweet relief. Step forward to your fold. Feet are hip width, halfway lift. Exhale to forward bow. Through chair pose, bend the knees, arms up. Stand tall, hands to heart, samasthitihi. Let's take an extra breath. And exhale, release the arms. So if you're feeling a little warm, your sun salutes worked. Intention is to heat up that fire element, your core, your solar plexus. With feet still hip width apart, we're coming to a deeper chair pose. If this next exercise gets to be too much, instead of lifting and lowering with me, remember you can always just sit down onto the floor. Bend your knees, lift the arms up, inhale. Exhale, sit down 3 inches deeper. Inhale, pulse up 1 inch. And exhale, go down 3 more inches so your seat is aligned with your knees. 2 more to lift. Hips can even drop below the knees for these last ones. Inhale. Use your hands if you need to. Just sit down on the floor. Hallelujah. And then come to lie all the way down on your back. Better yet. From here, widen your knees and press your big toe mounds together. Press your hands together and reach them forward between your legs. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, lift your head and shoulders up off the mat. Inhale to lower and exhale to lift. A few more. Inhale to lower and exhale, pull belly down towards your spine as you lift. Keep moving at the rhythm of your own breath and keep pressing your big toe mounds together so you strengthen the inner lines of your legs as much as you do your core. Now on this next one that's lift and stay up, you can always put hands behind your head, hold your knees together, and let's take some bicycle crunches. Left elbow to right knee, inhale center, and exhale to switch sides. You can find a float to your feet, pointing the ankle and flexing your toes back. And remember to keep hugging belly down instead of allowing your abs to poof or dome up towards the ceiling. Let's stay for last 3. Long, deep breaths. Force the exhale. Last one to either side. Just make sure that you feel symmetrical. And then lie down, hug your knees into your chest, take a big sigh. With hands underneath the knees, rock up and back the length of your spine 3 to 5 times. And we'll rock all the way up to Navasana boat pose. So maybe you can hover with your toes off of the floor. Or if toes are touching the floor, no big deal. Just lean back. Okay, lifting toes is an option. Toes stay together, just widen the knees apart. And like we did lying down, keep pressing your toes towards one another, engaging the inner lines of your legs. Option 1, stay here or release the grip of your thighs. We're going to create 3 outward moving circles with your legs while pressing those toes together. So engaging your low belly's core, pause, and create 3 circles moving in the opposite direction. Once those are complete, hug knees to chest, pause. Reach your hands forward, flex the wrists. Press your knees out into your elbows and hug your elbows in towards your knees. And notice that you're currently in an arm balance called crow pose. You're just doing it sitting down on your bum. Let's take an extra breath. Cross the ankles and shoot back to low plank or step back to high plank. Cycle through your vinyasa. Maybe take an extra couple breaths in your back bend, stretch your belly. And we'll meet in downward dog. On your next inhale, float your right leg up. This time stack your right hip over the left one and bend the knee. So your underarms are still pointing to the floor, even if right hip is pointing towards the right side wall. You might point your knee a little higher just to stretch open the inner thighs. Let's step that right foot only halfway to the top of your mat, which isn't far. Want to roll to the outer left foot and reach the right arm up. So all 10 toes are facing the right. You've got a 90-degree angle between your right hip, knee, and ankle joint. Inhale, side bend, right arm hugs the ear. Exhale, sit down, left hip to the floor. Couple more. Inhale, reach the arm up. Bottom left leg stays straight as you descend. Last full cycle, inhale to lift. Exhale to lower down. Last one, inhale to lift. You can stay here, or you might stack your right foot over the left one, so full Vashisthasana side plank. Try to get as much as your left, the bottom foot on the floor as possible. And without back bending, just make this a big side bend. Come to high plank on your inhale and low plank on your exhale. Cobra or up dog. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale as you reach your left leg up. Stack your left hip over the right one and bend your knee. And also a nice way to disengage the psoas that links thigh and your lower belly together, and to release your left thigh quad. Tends to get tight when we do a lot of core, so this should feel good. Step that left foot only halfway to the top of your mat. Turn all 10 toes to the left, left arm up. Stay on the outer blade of your bottom, the right foot, and that leg stays straight the whole time. If your left knee hurts, you can always walk it back towards the back of your mat. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, sit down. Inhale to lift. And exhale, maybe you hover instead of sitting, that's harder. Last full cycle, inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. This time as you lift up, pause. Stacking your left foot over the right one, full Vashisthasana side plank. You can look forward or underneath your left arm if that feels safe for the neck. Just keep the left side of your body directly stacked over the whole right side of your body. Last breath. Let's find high plank on the inhale, low plank exhale, then your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. And so this next exercise we're moving through is a Kriya. It requires a little squat. So as you lift your heels, sit on those heels, but keep your hands exactly where they just were. So this is our inhale. As you exhale, straighten legs and arms, high plank. Inhale, yogi squat. Exhale, high plank. 2 more, keep looking forward, even for the out breath. Last one, spring load the legs and hop, feet between hands. Let's take a halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold. Through chair, bend your knees, arms up. And stand tall, hands to heart, Samasthiti. Big breath. Exhale, relax the shoulders, your neck, your jaw. And let's step feet and heels all the way together at the top of your mat. We're coming past chair pose. Inhale, arms up. Hands to chest, lift your heels like we practiced before. Really engage your glutes, really zipper up your pelvic floor. And as you bend your knees, squeezing your knees and thighs together, lean your shoulders as if to an imaginary wall behind you. You're gonna sit down on your heels. This is Pashasana, a different squat. Option 1, knees wide, fingers to the floor. You can reach your hands forward and take a deep expression of a forward fold. If this aggravates your knees, child's pose is great to do instead. Second option, crow pose. Let's take that core we worked on earlier. Keep your feet together, hands shoulder width, like chaturanga, elbows bend, but you hug them in. You can insert your knees high up onto those triceps and keep looking a little forward. So much weight in the hands that maybe the toes will lift up off of the floor. And like in your core exercises earlier, keep pressing your toes together so you've still got that engagement to the inner thighs. Let's stay for 3. Could even work straighter arms for 2. If it's in your practice, shoot back low plank, cycle through vinyasa, or forward fold and step back to high plank. We'll always meet in downward facing dog. Big breath. Big exhale. This time as you inhale, bend the knees, look forward. And as you exhale, you could even straighten the legs like we did last time, so that plank. Or as you exhale, you could try to kick your seat with your heels and take a few little donkey kicks. Important to keep looking forward. And this is just to keep the heart rate up. And don't worry if you hover for a second. Let's hop forward to a fold. Halfway lift. Feet are hip width, parallel bow. Through chair pose, arms up. Stand tall, hands to heart, Samasthiti. Exhale, release. Feel that heat. If you ever get dizzy, really engage your legs. That should help. From here, we're taking our first leg balance tree pose. Bend your right knee, point your knee to the right. Your toes can stay here on the floor or your left calf muscle or the inner left thigh, so you choose. Offering today right hand to right thigh. Reach your left arm up and take a little side bend towards the right. And so offering from here to either lay your right forearm on top of right thigh or kind of use the back of your hand to push the thigh more to the right. You're externally rotating from the hip. Last big breath up and over, hugging to the heartwood, the core of your tree, the oldest, deepest, wisest layer of you. And as you gather hands towards your heart, inhale, point right knee forward. Exhale, straighten right leg. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, straighten the leg. Couple more, inhale. And exhale, try not to lean the shoulders back. Last one. That straighten right leg, now pause with hands still to heart. Bow forward, Dikasana. Extend your right leg back behind you. It's definitely okay to bend your left knee for this one, which helps to lower your center of gravity, but with your right toes, find the back of your yoga mat. So we'll meet in a high crescent lunge. Inhale, lift the arms up. As you reach forward, connect whole right hand towards the floor. We're going to heel toe your left front foot halfway down the widest edge of your mat. You're again on the pinky toe blade of your right, which is the bottom leg. So you can stay here like we did before or stack the feet. Third option this time. Step your left foot on top of the right leg, above or below the knee, so that you're in tree pose in your side plank. Keep rolling your left shoulder back and squeezing your right glute. Let's stay for last 2 big breaths. This time it's different. Pick up your left toes and place them behind your right leg. Pelvis scoops to the back wall as you slingshot your heart forward. Maybe take a lion's breath. Stick out your tongue and roar. Simasana. Okay, this time as you gently flip, core plank, left hand down, left knee to your chest. 3 or 4-legged high plank, 3 or 4-legged low plank. Just make sure to back bend on both feet, neutral pelvis, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Big breath. On your next inhale, float that right leg up. Use your core to step that foot forward between your hands. For warrior 1, commit your left back heel to the floor at a bit of an angle. Reach your hands back, and next inhale, come all the way up. Offering from here is to identify your right elbow, and it's going underneath your left. In option 1, a big bear hug. Option 2, backs of hands or your palms hug together so they touch. We're gonna do some shoulder flossing here. So as you inhale, elbows up, you might even look up. And exhale, elbows down, you might even look down. Couple more. Inhale to lift chest. Exhale to round in. Last couple, so you don't have to go very far to feel this. Only go as deep as hopefully feels good, like you're freeing your shoulder blades from your back. Let's lift those elbows in line with the shoulders. Straighten your front leg and reach the arms up. Step your left foot halfway in and either cup opposite elbow behind you or take a sneaky prayer behind you. Fingers can point down or up. Lift your chest. Hinge at the hips to forward bow and take a few big breaths into that left hamstring. And so you can even kind of relax your neck a little without crunching into your throat too much. Just lengthen the back of your neck and feel what there is to feel here. Use that heat to soften your muscles to get a little deeper, closer to you. If you're really deep in your fold, just lift up so torso's parallel to the floor. Lift your left, the back heel, and then lift your left leg up off of the mat. So you're strengthening the back of that left leg, your hamstring, and the larger muscles of your glutes just by being here. Gonna press through the right foot and stand. Try to hug left knee to chest, arms up. Exhale, foot to the earth, hands to heart. Big breath here. Exhale, release the arms, shoulders, and your jaw. Tree pose on the other side. So from here, let's bend that left knee. Point your knee to the left. Toes can stay to the floor, just above right ankle or just above right knee. So finding one drishti, a focus. It's nice to use your willpower for some focused or harnessed energy. Left hand to left thigh, reaching right arm up. Let's find that side bend towards the left. Even challenging your gaze by looking underneath, right arm towards the sky. And really squeezing into that right hip, glute med for last 2. So you're the bend without breaking tree. Want to hold on to the core, but not in a way that we become brittle. Let's point that left knee forward, hands to heart. Inhale. Exhale, straighten your left leg. Inhale, rebend the knee. Exhale, re-straighten the leg. Last one, inhale. Let's straighten that left leg, now hold hands to chest. As you bow your torso forward, sweep that left leg towards the wall that's behind you. And the hips are trying to point forward at a fairly even rate. Remember, right knee bends, helps to lower center of gravity with left toes. Find the back of your mat. Ooh, nice dismount, arms up. Pull left hand to the earth, and hand can be a little wider than shoulders. Fingertips can even turn out a little bit. Seal toe right front foot halfway down the widest edge of your mat. Inhale, stay, or stack the feet as before. Or last option, tree legs. And notice how I'm bending my bottom, the left knee a little bit to try to get more of my left foot to the floor for stability. Then you can work to straighten the leg and maybe find a side bend. Even looking underneath, right arm towards the sky. Let's stay for 2 big breaths and then we'll transition. So picking up right toes, wild thing. Right toes behind you, pelvis scoops back. Unleash the chest and maybe take a big lion's breath. Core plank, let's do it. Right hand down, right knee to chest. 3-legged high plank, 3-legged low plank, but back bent on both feet. And we'll meet in downward facing dog, big exhale. On your next inhale, reach your left leg up. Use your core to step that foot forward. Lower your right back heel to the earth at a 45-degree angle, hands to back wall. Inhale to reach all the way up. And exhale just to kind of settle. So your left elbows going under like a big bear hug. Eagle arms, backs of hands or palms touch, you choose. As you scoop the pelvis forward, lift elbows, maybe lift gaze. Exhale, elbows down, you might even look down. A few more, inhale to lift, and exhale to lower. 2 more, shoulder flossing. Remember to keep hugging your forearms together, releasing your upper back and outer shoulders. And let's just lift elbows parallel to the floor. Straighten your left leg, free the arms. Step your right foot in halfway. Again, sneaky prayer. Fingers can point down or up. As you lift the chest, hinge at the hips to bow. It's helpful to bend into your left knee a little bit and think about sliding your left hip femur more towards the wall that's behind you, so I could balance something on your lower back and it wouldn't slide to the left or the right. You have to have some core to hold yourself in shapes that you might not want to with your mind. So developing a little bit of willpower. And even though we are having form and structure, remember there's a little bit of space for you to move or breathe or move into a mental space where you feel good. Let's lift belly parallel to the floor. Lift your right back heel. Step forward and lift your right leg clean up off the mat for last 3. So you're engaging the back of your right leg, hamstring, glute med for last 2. Press down to stand, right knee towards your chest, arms up. Whoop. Exhale, foot to earth and hands towards your heart. Big breath. Exhale to release. From here, we'll take our second leg balance today. Inhale, arms up. As you exhale, lift up your right toes and point them to the right. Remember that happens from the hip joint. Cross your right ankle over the left and you can stay. Or bend your left knee, sliding your hips towards the wall that's behind you. Keep flexion through that right ankle. And keep your right hip lifted in line with the left one. And so hopefully you'll feel a deeper stretch to that outer hip glute med. If you have any arm balance in your practice you love, you could find that here. Let's stay for last 3 long deep breaths. And as you push down, stand, right knee to chest, arms up. As you exhale, warrior three, so the arms are reaching forward, but you're kicking back in opposition. Let's find our high crescent lunge again. Whole right hand towards the earth, a little wider than shoulder. You guessed it. Start to heel your left foot halfway down the widest edge of your mat. Now this time, let's take our side bend and exhale, sit down onto the floor like we did before. So this time we're taking some extra core, lucky you. Move down onto your right forearm. Important here is to keep ear lifted from shoulder, so there's some strength into your shoulder girdle. You're going to cross your left ankle over and in front of the right one, and then lean back a little bit so that you're more resting on your right butt cheek. This is our inhale, maybe left arm behind you. As you exhale, lift both legs up. Inhale to lower and exhale to lift. Inhale, I like to straighten the legs a little more. Exhale, I like to bend the knees. Let's go for 3. Exhale. Last 2. Exhale. Last 1. Exhale. Now pause. You could straighten the legs. You could prong to right fingers. You could reach both arms up. Here's the photo op. Last 2. From here, roll forward to tabletop, hands and knees. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, lift your right leg up. We're going to twist, tapping right knee towards the left upper arm. So let's use that core we just created. Right hand can be forward slightly in front of your nose. Roll onto the inner left foot and reach your left arm up. So option 1, straighten the bottom right leg, foot is to the floor. A little harder here would be to lift your right leg up off of the mat. And even take some little pulses to strengthen that inner thigh. Let's go last 2. Left hand down, core plank, right knee to chest. Step that right foot forward. Warrior 2, left heel to the inner mat. Left fingertips, windmill you up through standing. So offering to see even distribution of weight across both feet. The heel of front foot might intersect the arch of your back foot. From here, let's turn the palm of right hand up. And as you reach up, reach your left, the back hand, in front of you towards your right knee. So we're in a hands-free, exalted warrior. And what I love about this one, stretching the hands into opposing directions, is that your fingertips aren't hanging out on your back thigh. So your core might have to work a little harder to hold you here. Let's stay for one last big breath. Straighten your right leg, arms wide. Your left foot can step in a little bit, reaching forward through right side body. Try to hover those right fingertips so that they're not actually touching anything. And we'll try the same thing here. Left arm reaches forward and right hand reaches down for a few big cycles of breath. And so for this one, keep your pubic bone pushing forward and in front of you and lean your chest open. Last big breath. Woo! As you look down, left hand to left hip, bend your right knee. Right fingertips to earth or up the block. As you lift your left leg clean up off the mat, your left hand might even come to your outer left hip glute med, flexion through left ankle. Option 1, stay. Or right fingertips might get a little lighter. Your hand might even press to your lower right leg shin. Let's stay for last 3. So commitment for 2. We're going to find ourselves back in Warrior 2 pose. It doesn't have to be graceful. Fingertips towards the earth. Lift your left heel and lower your left knee down towards the floor. So we're coming into some sort of a hip stretch. Instead of lunging as deeply as you can to your right knee, step your right foot out so both hands are on the in frame of the foot. And actually try to lengthen both sides of your waist. So it almost feels like your hips are pointing to the right lowest edge of your mat. So you can hug right knee towards your right upper arm. You can stay here, or if there's space, lower your forearms down to a cushion or a yoga block, whatever you've got. Option 3 is that you'll curl your left back toes and lift your knee up off of the floor. So lizard pose is left knee down. Dragon pose is right here with me. Third option is to maybe find a bind. Right knee has to hug the right upper arm like crazy. Right forearm goes underneath the thigh, wraps around to low back. And your left fingertips might even clasp behind your lower back. Let's stay for last 3 long deep breaths. So hugging your leg muscles on towards your bones, less like extended side angle. Hips and shoulders are facing forward and down as best they can for 2. Fingers towards the floor. Pick up your left knee if it's down. Let's all step forward to a fold. Take a halfway lift. Exhale to forward bow. Feet are hip width for chair. Bend your knees, arms up. And stand tall, hands to heart, Samasthiti. Exhale, release the arms, and again engage your legs like you're pulling up the kneecaps if you're feeling dizzy. And we're coming into the second side of that leg balance. So as you reach the arms up, exhale, hands to chest, pick up your left toes and point them to the left. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. And as you bend your right knee, sliding your tail feathers to the back wall, flex that left ankle. Tractions the muscle alongside the knees so that it doesn't twist or roll. And remember, left hip, try to keep it lifting high in line with the right one. If you did an arm balance on one side, try to make it symmetrical here. Weight is in the standing, the right heel. Push down to stand, left knee to chest, arms up. Through warrior 3. Bow forward. You're getting bigger in all directions. Left toes to the earth, arms up. Whole left hand towards the floor. Last time like this today, guys. Heel toe your right foot halfway down the widest edge of your mat, big side bend. This time just sit down and keep crossing right ankle all the way over the left. And so you can tell from this angle, I'm kind of leaning back to sit on the left hip. Right hand behind you. Keep lifting left ear from shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, lift the legs. Inhale to lower and straighten. Exhale to lift and bend. A few more here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So feeling the inner and outer thigh and the side core. Last 2. Once you've straightened the legs, maybe prong to left fingers. And maybe take the photo op, reaching hands in opposing sides of the room, really having to squeeze your thighs together. And when you're done, meet me in tabletop, hands and knees. Cute. Lift your chest, cow pose, stretch the belly. And then meet me in down dog. So let's use that side core we've just created. Inhale, left leg up. Let's twist, left knee towards the right upper arm. Roll to the inner right foot, right arms up. Straighten your left leg, side bend. Or lift the blade of left foot up off of the earth and join me for those little pulses. So strengthening that inner left thigh. Last 2. And meet me in core plank with right hand down, left knee to chest. Step that left foot forward, right heel to the inner mat, and right fingertips windmill you all the way up to your warrior 2. So as we move into our floating sequence today, palm of left hand faces up. Let's reach up and a little back. And your right forearm can go in front of you. So again, reaching hands in opposing directions to feel your core, your Agni, your inner fire. What lights you up? What is worth working so hard for in your yoga practice and your life? As you straighten that left leg, arms wide, you can step in a little bit for your floating triangle. As left side body lengthens, left fingertips don't land today. Remember to micro bend left knee and keep squeezing your hips forward, pelvis up to lower ribs. Let's take a side bend and left fingertips towards the wall behind you. So right arm forward to the top of your head and left arm back towards your toes. In this floating variation of the pose, you might get a little bit deeper into the side of your body while strengthening the side core. And when right hand comes to hip, bend your left knee, left fingers to the floor or a block or some support. As you shift weight forward, lift that right leg up, half moon pose, stay here. Or I like to press left fingertips into the left lower leg bone shin. Just make sure to keep flexing that right ankle, Last 2. I like to point fingers in opposing directions. Helps to step back to warrior 2, perhaps more gracefully. Fingertips to the earth. Lift your right heel, lower the knee down. Step your left foot towards the widest edge of your mat. So option 1 is to stay here and relax. Remember, when the belly is constricted so much, sometimes it means that we can't let go. You also need to be open to receiving bounty from your hard work. Okay, if you're going with me, slide the hips back. Forearms might be to the floor or some really stable structure, especially if you're lifting your back the right knee. Remember, left knee has to hug into the upper arm like crazy. If you took the bind, left knee hugs the shoulder, left forearm wraps behind the lower back. Belly scoops in and up. Your right hand might reach behind you as well. And so again, less like extended side angle, more like lizard pose. Hips and shoulders are still facing forward. So the longer we hold it, perhaps the more time to explore. How are those hips for last 2? And the core is what holds you here the whole time, commitment. Fingertips to the floor. That's all. Lift the back knee if it's down and step forward even if some baby hops take you there. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Through chair, bend your knees, arms up. Exhale, stand tall, hands towards your heart. And exhale, release the arms. So we're taking our last leg balance today. And like a flame, you're going to hold space for yourself to get wider in all directions, big toe pose. So as you reach the arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands to chest, gather right knee in and up, flex the ankle, lift the pelvic floor. Point your knee to the right and your left arm wide. So option 1, stay right here, perfect. Or elbow inside the knee if you're holding your right big toe with peace fingers. You could work a straighter right leg, and that may be a standing happy baby, or it might be straightening both legs entirely. Let's stay for 3 long deep breaths. Even challenge your gaze to look to the left. Send good vibes to that side of the room, that side of the city that you're in, that side of the world. Draw everything back to center, knee, arm, eyes. Big toe release. Let's stay for 3. So knee can stay bent or straight for 2. Foot to earth, release the arms. Inhale, shoulders to ears. Exhale, let that tension fall. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, hands to chest, left knee draws in and up, flex the ankle, lift the pelvic floor, left hand to left thigh, right index thumb might touch. Let's point knee to the left, right arm wide. Elbow inside the knee if you're holding your big toe. Again, standing happy baby, or both legs straight. Just try not to counterbalance by leaning your shoulders to the right. Keep your shoulders leaning right over the hips, even if the left knee has to bend. You might even look to the right, last 3. Holding space for yourself. Your center, your core that holds you here for 2. And draw everything back to center. Let's try to release that left leg, reach the arms up. Remember, your left knee can bend, no big deal. Inhale. Exhale, foot to earth, arms beside you, shoulders to ears. Exhale, shoulders fall. Heel toe feet to the widest edges of your mat, turning toes out to about 10 and 2 o'clock. Inhale, arms up. As you gather hands through your chest, you're either in a standing squat or you're coming all the way down towards your Malasana Yogi squat. And if this hurts knees, ankles, or lower back, you could also just sit on the floor. I like to take a praying mantis, so backs of hands are together. And then from here, you get a little bit of a wrist stretch as you take a pose of grounding. And as much as you can, notice which muscles have to constrict to hold you here. Notice which muscles can actually start to relax. Fingertips towards the floor, forward fold over nice long legs. Point your toes straight ahead, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor. That's step back towards high plank, and then lift your hips, down dog. Lifting your right leg up and back behind you again. Bend Option 1 is to stay here or go to an early pigeon. We're going there next. Or second set of wild thing today, if you want, you can sprinkle right toes behind your left leg. So I'm on the outer left foot and the right toes. Last 2. Pelvis scoops forward, unleash the heart. Through core plank, right hand down, right knee to chest. Let's meet in pigeon, lower right leg, mostly parallel to the top of your mat. Remember the angle of front leg's pretty unique to you. Looking behind you, left leg can be straight out from the hip socket, so the cartilage of your knee points down. If you need a modification, you can sit all the way on your right hip and intentionally bend the left knee. If you walk your torso towards the right, this way it's a little easier. If you walk your hands towards the left, that should be a little bit more of a stretch to your right hip. So wherever you are is perfect. Remember that wherever you are, you can notice which muscles have to constrict to hold you in this shape. Little bit of willpower holding shapes that might be less than comfortable for longer than your mind might like. But what muscles are holding on that is just residual tension that you can probably let go of. And use the heat you've generated in your practice to let some of that go. Okay, careful with your right knee as you sit on your right hip and swing your left leg forward. Cross your left ankle outside the right knee. Left fingertips sprinkle behind you. Reach your right arm up and twist right elbow outside the left knee. You could also just hug left knee to chest with the help of your right hand. And instead of leaning into left fingertips, again, hands-free, theme of the day, left hand might press onto your left or onto your lower back, your sacrum. Find a counter twist in the opposite direction. Left elbow inside the left knee. If you still feel sprightly, just cross left ankle over the right one and shoot your legs back to low plank. Cycle through your last vinyasa. We'll meet in down dog. This time with your left leg up, open up the hips, bend your knee. And let's gently flip left toes to the mat behind you. And then unlock the heart, stretch open your belly, make space for you in all directions. Okay, we'll meet our friends through core plank in pigeon. Lower left leg parallel to the top of your mat. Just make sure that there's no pain in your the front knee. Remember, you can always sit all the way down on that back hip, and this is called deer or 90-90 pose because both legs are instead making 2 90-degree angles. Bowing forward here. Or if pigeon was okay for you, straighten that back, the right leg. And remember that it's not necessarily the yoga pose that you're doing, but the courage and intention that you bring to it that's transforming. So for you, that might be having a daily yoga practice or some time just to check in with yourself. Your willpower might be your sadhana. So let's sit on that outer left hip as you swing your right leg forward. Right ankle hooks outside the knee. If you look to the right, just make sure you're not sitting on that will be your left heel. You can always just straighten your left leg if that's you. No pain or pressure in the knee. Right fingertips behind you, left elbow up and outside right thigh, or just hug right thigh to chest with the help of left hand. Last 3. So if you're squeezing out your digestive organs for 2. Let's counter twist, right elbow inside the right knee, little breath behind you. This time when you look forward, just close your knees like a book. Feet can stay together with your knees, hands under thighs easier, hands forward harder. Slowly lie all the way down onto your back. And offering just to feel into your belly and allow your digestive organs to hang into your back body. And allow your back body to be fully supported by the earth beneath you. You've worked hard, and now you can stay open to all of the good that's already here and all of the good that's coming to you. When you're ready to come out of your Shavasana, you might even roll towards one side and set a new intention for the rest of your day before coming up to a nice tall seat. You might bring your right hand towards your belly and your left hand to your heart. And notice if you can feel your own heart beating under your left hand and your breath rising and falling under your right hand. So this is a simple practice that you can come back to anywhere to find your center, to reconnect to your willpower. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.